Okay, well, we're having, or we, I got a frog in my pocket, I suppose. I had a few technical difficulties where I would start the Hangout and there would be no start broadcast button. So I had a few guests lined up and I sent out invitations, and Stone Guy came and he went, and I'm not sure what happened to him, but the show must go on. I think I was reminded tonight of why I stopped doing Hangouts after 52 of them straight. I think I did almost a year's worth. I think I missed one or two Monday nights in a year's period, and there might have been just a little burnout there going on. So I've paused for a while, and now I was trying to do the giveaway live, and I'm still going to do it, but I had this vision that it was going to be cool, but now it's going to be a little slightly boring, apparently just me, and but I'll get through it. So let me go to the YouTube side and see if there are any comments. I don't see any at this point in time. Let me reload that page. They what I don't understand about the Hangouts now is that sometimes you will go to see or take part in a Hangout, and the comments on the YouTube side will be on the right of the video, like a chat box. But always mine end up being like comments in a regular video, so I have to reload the video just to see the comments. So I don't understand the inconsistency there. And this is part of the frustration with me, honestly. I'll just be honest with you, with YouTube and how it's always changing, and it's not very consistent, especially with the Hangouts. So it's very frustrating, just to be honest with you. But life goes on without YouTube. I'll just work through it. So let me see if I can put this on screen share. We'll do that and full screen. So it will look like a barbershop there for a second. And hopefully now it looks like I'm on random.org because I wanted to do this live so that everyone could see their names. See if I can zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. And so there are all the names. I think we had 80, 89. Excuse me, I started to yawn, but I caught myself. I think we had 89 people enter, which is pretty good. I like that. And I placed them in this random list randomizer. And so when I push randomize, let's see, I haven't quite figured out how I want to do this. When I press go, it will randomize the list in order 1 through 89, or how many ever there are people. Okay, I don't think I want to just take the first 4. I think what I'm going to do is randomize the list 4 times. And just so everyone will remember, let's go back to the Hangout, and I'll take it off of screen share for a second. And I will bring up the video. I'll go to my channel. I will bring up a picture. Let's go back to screen share so you can see why I'm acting silly. I'm hoping what you're seeing is the video. And I'm trying to get to the picture of the 4 prizes. Here we go. Right there. I don't know if you can see that, but the 4 prizes were the ThruNite TN11S, and that's number 1. Prize number 2 is the Archer 1A. And then I had these 2 smaller packs, prize packs, where I had an artisan patch and a ferro rod and an Every Second Matters patch. Okay. So I will go back to the, let's see, let me make sure I am on screen share. And I will go back to the random list, the list randomizer. Randomizer. Oh, why do I feel like I'm talking to myself when I don't have any guests? I feel like I'm talking to myself. I guess I am to a certain extent. But here are all of the 89 names. So what we're going to do is, let's see if I can zoom in again. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. There we go. It's nice and big. I'll just kind of scroll down the list. It's funny, all the misspelled names are underscored in red squiggly lines. So there we go. Okay, so now when I press randomize, we're going to come up with 1 through 89, but that's just for the top prize. So here we go. We're going to do this 4 times. We're not just going to take, if I hit randomize once and I get 1 through 89, that's going to be boring. So we're going to do it 4 times. That'll be more fun. So here we go. Randomize. Da-da-da. Walker Burt. Ta-da. I remember when I had, people would show up for my hangouts as guests, and they would like do sound effects. Those were good old days. Good old days. I'm tired, so I'm not pronouncing my words properly. I had a long day. I'm sorry. Sorry, this is not exciting, okay? Sorry. Dang it. I'm sorry. Walker Burt. Number 1. Walker Burt. Now see, since I said I was going to do this 4 times, Warthog is not number 2. I'm sorry. And Atomic Bulls, you're not number 3. And Action and ZZ, you're not number 4. So I'm going to hit again. Okay, and number 1 is going to be number 2. Okay, that sounds weird, I know, but it's going to work. Again. Okay, so number 1 is actually prize winner number 2. 20-year combat engineer. I figured that out all by myself. 20-year CMBT engineer. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go down here and hit it. Okay, so 20-year combat, you won the Archer 1A. And Walker Burt, you won the first prize. TN11S ThruNite. Both of those are ThruNite flashlights. Now the third prize is a Ferro rod, a artisan patch, and a Second Amendment patch, Every Second Matters patch. Again, Owen Siford, Owen Siford. You kind of have to act kind of crazy when you're doing this by yourself, or it doesn't seem as dynamic. Okay, so Owen, you won a ferro rod. Now, those ferro rods are cool, okay? I'd almost rather have a ferro rod as that big-ass ThruNite flashlight. I'm not a fan of huge flashlights. I like the small ones. Again, the Rebel 3000. Ta-da! The Rebel 3000. I guess the year 3000, we're going to need some Rebels. Alright, so you won 4th place. Okay, so let's go back to here. See, am I still on screen share? Yep. So, prize number 1 was Walker Burt. Prize number 2. Prize number 1 was this the ThruNite TN11S. I always think of TN Outdoors 9 when I say that. Second place prize was the Archer 1A, which was 20-year combat. And then third and fourth was Owen Siford. And number 4 was the Rebel 3000. So you guys need to send me a message. I don't know how you do that now on YouTube. You used to have an inbox that you could count on, but now it's who knows. You may have to send a smoke signal to me. You can always send it to Tony at ArtisanTony.com. Send me your mailing address, and I will send it to you. Now, you have 1 week. Get it, 1 week from today. If I do not hear from you by next Monday, I will do another drawing, and I will give them away, because the point of this giveaway was to give away something nice to those people who watch my videos that I appreciate very much on a daily basis. And if you don't do that, then you're not going to see this video, and you're not going to know you won. And so what I'm going to do is put the names of the winners in this video description, and you have 1 week to return your mailing address. And so that is that. So now let me go to the Hangouts, and I will push reload, and I will see if there is any comments. Alan Zahriver says, "Aloha, don't give up, Tony. Giving and Calvert Survival. Nice to see you live again. Thank you. I appreciate that, because my guest didn't show. Well, Stone Guy 223 showed up, but when I finally got it started, I sent him a link and he didn't come back. So I must have had bad breath or something. Drumroll, Ryan Vasseur. Is that French? Foghorn, North Carolina. Congrats, guys. Thank you for congratulating the winners. Oh, the Queen Bee. Wow, I almost forgot. I'm glad I read the comments. Let me see. I am stuck. I'll tell you what. I'm stuck. There was a lot of good suggestions, but I think I'm going to go. Let me see where my wife is. There was this girl when I was 18. And I'm going to talk softer because my wife might be listening. I love my wife, and I'll love her forever. But my first love, her name was Rainey. I was on hurricane recovery camp. You don't understand. When I was young, I thought I was going to save the world through carpentry and construction. I was part of the group of people, a very small group of people that started Habitat for Humanity in Chattanooga. I was the first construction coordinator and volunteer coordinator for a 2-year interim period until they could find permanent people, because I wanted to continue with my business. And actually, I went on this hurricane recovery camp before that, but that just popped into my mind. Anyway, it was Gulf Shores, Alabama. It was 1980. When did that hurricane come through Gulf Shores, Alabama? Anyway, I met this girl from Huntsville, Alabama. Her name was Rainey, and I just could not believe it. I just fell in love with that girl. I was there for a week, and we took off roofs of a couple of houses that had gotten, partial roofs blown off, and we repaired and rebuilt them. But during that time, she was on my crew, and man, you just don't believe, at the end of the week, I was just, man, it had this big lump in my throat because we had to leave. I did get a chance to go see her a couple of times after that. I drove my 62 Corvair down to Huntsville from Chattanooga in a blowing rain a couple of times to see her, and but after that, she was lost to history. But I'm happy now. I have a beautiful wife who will love me forever. I have beautiful kids, and I'm happy. But now I'm trying to figure out if I should name the first queen after her, because my wife will wonder, maybe I shouldn't name her Rainy. Her name was Rainy, and I actually wrote a song about her. I can't remember all of the lyrics, but it goes something like the first verse was like, I'd rather have a rainy day than a bright and sunny day. I can't remember the whole thing. But anyway, it was based on that sort of twist about rainy versus sunny versus whatever, melancholy. So I don't know. After all that whole story, now I'm realizing that maybe I shouldn't call my first queen bee Rainy. Let's go to choice number 2. Choice number 2 is Maggie, and I've always been a big Pink Floyd fan, probably my number one most favorite band, and I drive my sons crazy because I've got this best of album in the truck of Pink Floyd, and one of the songs on there is the Fletcher Memorial, and it's a very interesting song. And at one point in the song, he yells out Maggie, which is Margaret Thatcher, and Margaret Thatcher is one of my female heroes because she and Ronald Reagan basically defeated the Soviet Union single-handedly, and that's my opinion. So I've always had this special place in my heart for Margaret Thatcher, one of the very few conservative women of the UK. And so I think we're going to name her Maggie. The first queen will be called Maggie. Now, I guess there's still room for naming the hive, something that you all suggested. Let me go up here and put the video on pause because I was getting feedback. Okay, so now let me keep going down the list. Mario Castillo, hey Tony, hey. Let's see, Samuel. Let's see, can I get in? I'm probably going to end it soon, so I'm really tired. I really appreciate everybody showing up. I worked hard today. Barrett's getting ready to go back to school. He was teaching, helping teach a drum line for a high school marching band, so he hasn't been with me. So it's been last couple of weeks have been kind of hectic for the old man, the old artisan. But Flaming Swords, hi Tony. Hey Flaming Swords, hi. Shout out please. Watch me or try me. All right, Flaming Swords, what do you do? So I'm going through the comments. Funny you mentioned, okay, Island Survivor. Funny you mentioned hurricanes. Azale will be here Friday morning, and it just turned to a Category 4. I thought that storm was just, they said on the news a couple of days ago that it wasn't going to get organized a lot. The weather forecast, that's another thing. Being in the construction industry, I watch the weather like hourly, daily, 24 hours a day. I mean, you guys don't understand. Um, I have to know, like if we start to tear off a roof at 8 o'clock in the morning, I have to know if it's going to rain at 12 o'clock. So I'm very hypersensitive to the weather, and I watch the weather forecast, and I have a very keen sense. And over the past, I will say 20 years, the weathermen have just become like little high school reporters, high school newspaper reporters, or they don't, they're not meteorologists anymore. They rely heavily on their algorithms, which is fine, but or their whatever it is they're relying on, but it is not reliable. It is not. I vouch for that 100%. Okay. I've had too many ceilings get wet. Actually, not that many, but I'm exaggerating. It's like a fish story. But too many times I've been disappointed in the weather. Let's just put it that way. So this hurricane, they reported it just 2 days ago that it was not going to get organized enough to even become a hurricane. And now Island Survivor is telling me that it's going to be a hurricane, that it just turned into a Category 4. So hope those guys are okay down there. Let me see who else is watching. Elizabeth. Elizabeth is a good name. Queen Elizabeth is a good name for a queen, but I don't know. Maggie, I think it is. And speed paints. What's that mean? Gaming. The comments are, yes, they are as random as I sound because I'm reading them. I would go Maggie if I were you. Lots of laughs. Lots of laughs. Yeah, 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 because I don't want to have to explain Rainy. What's funny is I might have actually slipped one day in a weak moment when I think once my wife was telling me about her old boyfriend when she first got out of college or into college. And I was like, really, honey? I really am not interested in your old boyfriend. As far as I'm concerned, he's a big loser. But I think to get her back, I was talking about Rainy, and how much fun we had on the beach and all that. So she really got mad at me. So I probably shouldn't name my first queen bee Rainy. But she was a cutie. Now, Owen Siford, didn't you win? Yeah, Owen, you won 3rd place. So send me you just left a comment that I can see. There's probably lag there, so you probably left it a few minutes ago. These guys, let's see, Buckeye Imaging. These guys write software for the TV stations. Also have phone apps, no delays. Oh, yeah, you know who I use the most is Weather Underground. Weather Underground, let me just go to their place. I have a bookmark. Am I still on screen share? Yeah, Weather Underground is cool because they have this neat graph. Let me zoom in. This is who I use. And it's really accurate because by the hour, you can see the percentage chance of rain. Like on Thursday, I know that if you look at this graph, let me zoom in. I don't know if you can see this, but it'll start out at let's see, that's 12 a.m., 1 a.m. By the time I get to 12 p.m., it's a 30% chance of rain, and then it starts going up, up, up. And then look here on Friday at 9 p.m., I've got a 90% chance of rain. So I know if I've got any roofs exposed on Wednesday, they better be covered up by that afternoon. So that's who I use, the weatherunderground.com. Let's go back to, let me reload the comments here. I'll just say publicly that I'm mad at G-Webs and Talflater Mouse because they didn't show up. They didn't know they were supposed to show up, but I'm still mad that they didn't. Let's see, in the low country, hey Tony, I'm getting a new roof put on my house tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Thought you would. Yeah, well, I hope you're getting some decent shingles. Some decent, maybe 30-year architectural shingles by Tamco or Certainty, or what brand are they using? You know what you should do too? Make sure they use a synthetic underlayment under your shingles. Don't let them use 15-pound roofing felt because it is garbage. It will do no good. It's just a token effort. So ask your roofing contractor if he's going to use something like Robotech or, oh, what's another one? If it's, just say synthetic underlayment. You can go to some of my videos, like the Stringer's Ridge project. When we were roofing that, putting the metal roof on, we used a product. I use synthetic underlayments on all of our roofs, and they're much better. I wouldn't use the roofing felt for. I may use it for a chicken house or something. I don't know, shed or something like that. Let me reload the comments here. Let's see. Central Pacific Hurricane Center, Maui. Not the weather guy. I would go, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading comments. Okay, Eve and the Garden of Eden. That's not bad, Eve. The Garden of Eden. Switch windows on me and open a new chat. Oopsie. Well, like I said earlier, I was having technical difficulties. When I first started the Hangout, there was no button that said start the Hangout. I was just in there with Stone Guy 223, and there was no way to start it, so I had to start a new one. And this is one of the frustrating things that kind of, every Monday night I would go through the same old, fighting YouTube on technical difficulties. And so it got kind of, you get, after a while, it's like Chinese water torture. Jasmine. That's kind of sexy. Jasmine. Samuel Hare. Jasmine. I have to think about that. Let's see. Is Forrest the one who was teaching? Teaching what? That one went over my head. Sorry. Okay, I guess I'm rambling now. Sorry, guys. Let me reload the comments. Good evening, Tony. Good evening, Enrique. Sonora. I'm bad at pronouncing names. I have to hear them. Actually, I'm hard of hearing. I'm legally deaf in my left ear. So I have to hear someone's name sometimes to actually understand. I know you're thinking, oh, that's just an excuse. That's a good one. Let's see. Darren Clift. Is the person's name Forrest teaching percussion marching band? uh, hmm. I don't know what you mean. My son Barrett is teaching the drum line. I think it's Sail Creek, Tennessee, where he's doing that. But it's done now. That was the last 2 weeks he was doing that, and which I missed him very much because it was during the summer. He was out of school and he was helping me every day, and I missed that. Change the comments to newest first. I've got the newest first. Let's see, Flaming Swords. I do gaming commentaries like PewDiePie. I've heard of PewDiePie, but I haven't watched his or her. I'm assuming it's a girl, PewDiePie. Be kind of a girly name for a guy. Maybe not. I don't know. No offense intended there. I do speed paints where I draw something and I speed it up like 20 times. Huh, I'll have to check that out. PewDiePie. Was that FPS Rush's girlfriend? Is that who that is? PewDiePie? What's his girlfriend's name? The English chick. I don't know. I know very little about YouTube culture. I have a hard enough time keeping up with my own channel. Let me review. Here, let me reload comments again. This is the frustrating thing for me about the YouTube Hangouts is that I'll go, like I said earlier, I'll go to other people's Hangouts and there will be a chat window on the right hand side, but always for my videos it is like regular comments, and I have to like refresh the video every few minutes just to get the new videos, and then sometimes I will miss some because it will kind of skip over them. So if I skip a comment, it's because of that reason. So, is there any particular thing? I know I had a lot of good comments. It's funny because when I was doing the contest or the giveaway, I kind of felt like people were being nice just because they were entering the giveaway. Nobody was really had much constructive criticism. One person did. They said I should prepare more, which brings me to a discussion point. One of the things I liked about YouTube when I first started in 2006 was that YouTube was a venue for people to make sort of spontaneous, just fun videos. And I like that. I don't like highly produced videos. If I'm going to watch a highly produced, well planned, thought out, I'll watch something on Hulu or Netflix, or you know what I mean. YouTube for me, I want to see people's true personality. I don't want to see acting. I don't want to see a script. I don't want to see much planned. And I know that's going to go against the grain for some people, but I don't plan my videos at all. An idea will pop into my head, and I'll say, "Hey Barrett," or "Hey Alex, hey, grab the guitar," or "Let's grab your keyboard," or I just thought of this, and let's just turn on the camera. I mean, literally, and I know you're going to say, well, it shows, and that's fine. Some of the videos are just a little bit planned, where I might have an idea, and it might take a few hours to put it all together, but that's just, grabbing a camera, a tripod, any kind of tools or guns or whatever we may need, uh, for the video. But they're never planned, they're never scripted, or anything like that. So it's funny, the worst comment or the most constructive criticism I got out of this giveaway, where I asked for people to, give constructive criticism, was one I thought was pretty interesting because of that very fact that I don't like, especially scripted um, video. I will say this: I did do, we have done, and we finished the music on a music video that I did for my wife, our 15th wedding anniversary, which will be coming out hopefully in the next month or so. So obviously that one was scripted, and people will be rather surprised, I think, at that. Barrett and Alex helped with that. Barrett obviously played the guitar and the drums and the synthesizer, the keyboard, and Alex played the piano part. And I'm not going to give away the song, but the theme of the video is me going to one of my favorite places on the back of Signal Mountain. It's where this waterfall is, and it's kind of a remote little spot. Not many people go there, thankfully. And so I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be doing some bushcraft and making a wooden spoon for my wife as a gift. This is the theme of the video. I'm going to be making her a wooden spoon for a gift for our 15th wedding anniversary. And so I go into the woods and I chop up a limb or whatever with my Grantsford's Brook hatchet, and then I use my Mora companion to do some carving, and then at the end of the video, I present it to her. It's kind of neat. So it's kind of girly. So, but it's something I want to do. Most people won't understand it, but it's okay. It's kind of a gift of art I'm presenting to my wife as a present, and that's just I wasn't even going to make it public. I was just going to present it to her, but I thought, what the heck, Barrett and Alex have gone through this trouble to help me, so we'll go ahead and show it. Okay, any more comments? I wouldn't plan you're doing great. Oh, okay. For a minute, I thought you were saying you wouldn't plan on me doing great, or I wouldn't plan on doing great. But I got it. Thank you. The YouTube of today is a lot of lit production. Yeah. And that's okay. If YouTube wants to become sort of internet TV, that's fine. But, I'm not, going to be going along with it. I'll still be the guy who produces crappy. And when I say crappy, I don't mean, one of the frustrating things here lately is, I have a brand new iPhone, but you cannot get an app worth a darn to produce videos. I'm using this app called YouTube Capture that's actually produced by YouTube, and you can see that it is some of the most blurry video. It's also wobbly. People, when I was doing some video about the beehive, it looked like the whole thing was shaking or wobbling back and forth. And it was just some sort of video effect, bad effect, that the app was placing. And and that's one of the most frustrating things, because lately, in the past 3 or 4 months, I've had very limited time for editing, so I wanted to move to the iPhone to take some video and then upload it right away, and it would keep me active on YouTube. So that's very frustrating. I'm thinking about changing to an Android-based phone when my contract is up with this one. Maybe the video quality will get better, or maybe I just need to come up with a camera that I can use Bluetooth with, or something like that, that'll still, Wi-Fi, that'll still be quick and easy to edit. Um, so let me go back to reload comments. Let's see, I hate all the ads that are mandatory to watch. Well, the ads are sort of a bittersweet thing, because, like me, honestly, I spend more on my channel than I earn in YouTube, AdSense. So it kind of takes the sting out of it a little bit, because it cost me probably so far about $800 or $900 just to make the beehive. I buy guns, ammunition, cameras. It's just never computers, knives, gear. Most people don't understand that I pay for this all of, like, well, if I have a company that gives me gear, I give it away. I don't keep it. Like the ThruNite flashlights, I have given the ones away that I have been given by ThruNite. I keep the ones, like the little saber on my keychain. I kept that one because I purchased it. But almost all the gear that I buy, like the VanQuest stuff, they give me a discount. Like the V Packers, and that the other gear I have, the messenger bag, and then like the targets I get from Challenge Targets, all the steel plates, I get discounts, but I don't get them for free. So that stuff, it adds up. And so I know the ads are annoying, but they make it possible, for us to do what we're doing, especially little guys like me who may get 300 or 400 views per video. You gotta understand, a lot of these guys are getting thousands of views per video, and I'm not. So if whatever money I make off the ads goes right back, and like I said, usually I'm spending more on my channel than I'm making from YouTube, but it does help me keep going, have an excuse to kind of keep going. Enough about that, I guess. How is your Kershaw Oso Suite doing? I really, honestly, I know that's not the most expensive knife, but I think the Kershaw Oso Suite is probably, in my opinion, the best for the price. EDC knife, I really think you're going to find it hard to beat it for the price. The Benchmades are great. They're really nice, but they're, 2 or 3 times as expensive from what I have seen as the Kershaw. And of course, the Speed Safe on the Kershaw is just crazy. You're talking basically a switchblade speed knife, so if I'm operating my knife with one hand, I'm in the field and I'm trying to cut rope or whatever it is, it's just easy to whip that thing out and cut. And the Spyderco Tenacious or Ambitious, or whichever one I had, I gave one of those to Barrett and one to Alex, because I couldn't stand manually opening. I know it sounds lazy, but I couldn't. After you use that speed safe from Kershaw, you get very spoiled really quick. Oh, in the Low Country says, thanks for the advice. They will be using Gorilla Guard. Ever felt 30 roofing underlayment? That's cool. I have 3 builders now. My next door neighbor is on the job. He won't steer me wrong. That's good. That's great because, most people don't realize it, but you do get some leakage through your shingles. And if you've got a good underlayment, that water will go to the underlayment and it will eventually dry out before it gets into your house. And what most people don't understand with their roof is that most of them leak. You just don't know it because the water's getting through and it's drying out before it gets to your drywall. Most of the time you'll have minor leaks like drips here and there through your ridge vent or through your plumbing pipe, through your valleys, just random places like that. Even when your gutter backs up or something and it runs back under the shingles, your insulation will soak it up and it will dry. And you'll never know it. It'll take 20 years, before you'll know your roof is leaking. So the point is that if you have good flashing and good underlayment, then the water can, your shingles can leak, or your systems, whatever they are, your flashing systems or your vent pipe boots or whatever can leak, but they go to the underlayment and they'll dry out. So that's the dirty little secret in roofs. But if you have like cheap felt, the water will get through because a lot of your underlayments, they'll seal around the nails that you attach them with, but the felt is bad about tearing and ripping, and the water will go through it, and your rafters will rot, your decking will rot, your ceiling joists will rot, and you may not ever know that either. The wood will soak it up, and it'll go through this period over 10 or 15 years of getting wet and drying, and finally dry rot, and one day you'll step on your roof and your rafter will break, and you'll be going like, what the? I didn't realize that a leak. And trust me, I see it all the time. So I'm really picky about our roofing systems, our flashing and siding, all of those weatherization systems. Yeah, I'm looking at Buckeye Imaging. Yeah, the ads, I don't know how they determine. I've always wondered because some of your ads will be sort of overlays that'll last a given amount of time, like 10 or 20 seconds, and the others will give you the option of, ditching them. I think it depends on the size of your channel and the actual ad, who's paying for the ad. I think there's probably a few factors there. Okay, well, it's 10:14, and I'm sure you people are tired of hearing me ramble, and I can appreciate that. And so please, Walker Burt, 20-year combat engineer, Owen Siford, and the Rebel 3000, send me your information, your mailing address, and remember, if you don't send it in a week, I'll give this stuff away to people who want it. So I appreciate everybody for coming, and thank you much. And I'll try to keep putting out decent content. I know it's kind of seems kind of random sometimes as to what I do, but I need to kind of keep it fun and fresh, and that's what's up with the the bee stuff, and it helps me keep from getting burnt out. Because I can't, honestly, I can't just do guns every video. I don't think life is all about guns. Um, Obviously, in a free country, we have the right to bear arms and without any limits at all. That's what I 100% believe. But that is that's sort of a what am I trying to say? It's not. Turn the screen share off. It's not. I believe we should be active enough so that is the truth. In other words, we fix our country and so that we have the right to bear arms, and then we move on with our lives. We're all bearing arms. We're all happy. We're all secure in our arms. Our families are secure in our homes. But now we move on with our lives. This is the way I grew up, people. When I was growing up in Tennessee, we had guns out the wazoo, and nobody cared. We went hunting, fishing. I had a gun rack in my, when I first turned 16, I had an old truck. I had a gun rack. Hell, we had gun racks in our trucks going to high school, And so, that wasn't, but it wasn't a major thing in our lives. Our families, our churches, our activities, our friends, that was our lives. Being free in this country, that's what was our life. That was our life. We didn't ponder. Thank God we didn't have to ponder every day. And so to bring that all back around, that's why I can't just do gun videos one after the other. And I have to be involved with other channels that do, bushcraft and hiking, camping, other things. That's why I've never joined. I've had plenty of offers to join the networks of gun channels, and they're just not interested in that because you pigeonhole yourself. You're stuck in that mode, and it's just not appealing to me. I want to fix our country and then live. That's what life is about. So I just wish, if 80, 60, 70, 80% of the gun community would get more involved with other things other than guns, like, repealing Obamacare and all these other things, holding government accountable for, why Benghazi, why the IRS thing, why all these other things. We need to hold government accountable, shrink it, fix it, and move on with our lives. So anyway, I'm back to rambling and being on a soapbox. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. I really do. Appreciate the people who watch, regularly and leave comments, and that's what keeps me going. So I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks.